Discovery.
Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, as always. I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
And this week, I suppose it's going to be our Halloween episode-ish. It's not an official Halloween episode, but it's certainly Halloween time. We're going to look at the British witch trials and the Witchfinder General.
That's werewolves.
Yeah.
I know, but it was like a Halloween-related noise.
Okay.
I couldn't think. It was like.
That
For
would
a
be more
witch.
appropriate.
Yeah.
But I just.
Yeah, you should have gone with a witch. Witchcraft, witch trials. You know?
Okay, alright.
Yeah. Bad decision, Pete. Rookie
Yeah,
mistake.
never mind.
Anyway, we'll get into that as we thank some new and returning listeners. I'd just like to say you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. You can follow us to SoundCloud and Spotify at Cutting to the Ball in the PTA, and YouTube at Apocalypse Ball.
You sure?
Yeah.
It sounds too sure at
my
first.
train of thought, right, had a little wobble on the rails then.
I could see it, you're right.
Were you still thinking werewolves?
I was thinking, what the fuck did he make that werewolf noise? And then... And even my superior intellect couldn't handle those two massive thoughts at once because I'm a man.
Unlucky.
Right, let's start. Let's thank some new and returning listeners. Yesentucky in Russia, Tony in the USA, Southport and Shrewsbury in the UK, Moscow in
Moscow.
Where? Sorry? Where?
Moscow.
Where?
Moscow.
Sorry.
I always say it like they say it in Rocky 4.
For all you listeners out there, I do apologise. He's referring to the city of Moscow. Fucking Moscow.
That's how the Americans say it, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry, we all just become Americans.
No,
haven't
but
we?
I always say it like they do in Rocky 4 because I'm a massive fan of the film.
Got a lot of American listeners, Pete.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of English listeners too.
Well, we've got Mariette, Madison and Lancaster in the US, Fujiwara in Japan, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Dublin, Ireland, Delray Beach, Colorado Springs in the US, Lima in Peru, Brussels, Belgium, Bangalore, India, Guadalajara, Spain, and Ashburn in America, which I happen to know is in Virginia.
You sure that wasn't Lee May?
Lee May?
Yeah, Lee May.
No, it's in Peru. Or Peru, however you
It
want to
wouldn't
say it.
surprise me if somewhere in America they say it Lee May instead of Lima.
Well, maybe they do, but I've never heard anyone in a film say it.
Or they may even say Lie May.
They might do, but that'd be just dumb.
Complete idiots.
Well,
Interesting chat there, Mike.
Yes, they're complete idiots.
Right, witches. Claire inspired me to do this episode with a little...
because she's a witch.
No, I don't think she is, I don't know.
Well,
Well, it's debatable.
We had a little back and forth in the group about how...
In our group chat on Facebook.
Yeah, Claire went on a feminist rant for a second.
Hardly a rant. I put up
Men
a
are
meme.
stupid, they'd rather protect their balls on their heads because cricketers didn't wear helmets for like 50 years, but they covered their balls.
it's
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
funny how like she's the only girl out of the four of us, and it's like she's ganging up on three blokes basically. It's like, pick your audience, Claire. Make it a feminist joke. Come on.
Anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do the witch trials. And it wasn't and it wasn't because I want to see women burned at the stake. I want to put that out there, right? I'm all in favour of ladies. You're great. You're all great.
Well, most anyway.
Well,
You're not Nick Fuentes,
Who?
the leader of that far right group in America.
Oh, yeah.
He called for
Oh,
burning
yeah.
witches at the stake, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did something like that. He said that they should bring it back for certain
He
traffic
said we had no
offences.
problems back then because
We burned women at the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that. I watched the video. We watched the video. It was
I'm assuming this is fairly recent then.
There's no go full Alex.
never go full Alex. That's it. That has been a
You should
while.
do that again.
Yeah. And anyway, I thought, you know what? I'm going to prove a point because the patriarchy has oppressed women, and this is one of the cases where it is. The Christian patriarchy in this scenario, because who's responsible for original sin?
Eve.
Women. Eve.
Yeah, well, yeah,
She ate the apple.
Had the bite of the apple, yeah.
Kicked out of
Fucking
Eden.
hungry.
Yeah, I bet she was. And You know.
For being a stubborn woman and not doing as the man said.
Well, the snake
you know
was
what I
there,
mean?
wasn't he? He was like, "Go on."
You should have met the
joking.
snake.
Well, no,
I
no.
met the snake.
Bit of meat. I'm with you on that, to be fair.
All over it.
Don't eat the apple. Alright, and come here.
You know, the snake's saying, "Eat the apple." He's Lucifer, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd bet
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. The snake. Oh, shit.
But you know, you can be as wise as God. You can know everything. Eat the apple, all right then. So it's all your fault, basically, is what the church is thinking at this time. And women, of course, are second-class citizens in that society. And who do they turn to when there's no Jews around in medieval England?
The women.
Boom.
The witches.
The witches. And of course, Christians are terrified of witches for some reason.
It was all paganism and everything
Well,
like that,
yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
is
They were
paganism,
terrified
isn't it?
of that, weren't
Well, they didn't like him because they worship Satan.
Well, that's what they said.
Well, no,
That's
paganism doesn't worship Satan.
No, what about...
Oh, the witch, right.
That's why the church didn't like witches,
Hmm.
allegedly.
Because
They
it was
allegedly...
dark
worship Satan.
arts and that, wasn't it? And,
Yeah. They're in
big
league with
plus-
Lucifer.
Yeah, even though I don't think...
They rimmed...
They've rimmed his butt.
Yeah.
What about white
They
witches?
don't-
Did they?
that's how you seal the deal with
Yeah,
Lucifer as a
yeah.
witch. You rim his ass.
No.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take back my fucking letter I wrote to him the other week. I don't want to be doing that. Fucking hell. I'll have to send him another... I'll send him an email.
Just cancel your reservation on hell.com.
Things may have moved on now. That'll be alright.
That's alright.
He never writes back.
Bastard.
Friend of the show, Satan. Witchcraft was not made a capital offence in Britain until 1563, which isn't bad. Can't get killed for it until 1563. Although it was deemed heresy and was denounced by Pope Innocent VIII in 1484.
Now, he doesn't sound innocent, just having that name.
None of these,
It's
all
like-
these popes have got these fucking names like Innocent and they're the most bloodthirsty bunch of bastards under the sun.
I'm just thinking he's definitely covering something up there, isn't he? Yes, I'm that holy and good. My name is Innocent. I don't
Innocent's
rape
my
little...
middle name.
Don't rape little boys or anything like that. No, not me. I'm innocent.
I guess his name, Innocent, is his middle name because he's always Pope Innocent VIII.
Yeah.
The 8th, though. There's been fucking 8 of them.
Yeah, they all have a set line to names, don't they?
Fucking hell.
From 1484, after the popes deemed it heresy, until around 1750, so 1484 till 1750, some 200,000 witches were tortured, burnt or hanged in Western Europe.
That's fucking shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's genocide, isn't
It's
it?
yes. You're killing all the women,
Yeah.
all the old women.
Over what period? So over a 200-year period, yeah?
You're talking like through the Renaissance here up to the Industrial Age
So
virtually.
it's 260 years, basically, isn't it? 265 years-ish.
Now, most supposed witches were usually old women and invariably poor. Any who were unfortunate enough to be, quote, crone-like, snaggle-toothed, sunken-cheeked, and having a hairy lip were always assumed to possess the evil eye. If they also had a cat, this was taken as proof.
Oh my
Isn't
God.
that basically most women that hit about 70-ish?
Well,
Not like the...
I don't know, I've seen
Not
some
the
younger than that.
stoop and all that, like, but like the hairy lip and things like that, and you know,
Especially poor women at
yeah,
that time.
bad
Yeah.
teeth and that. It's
Well,
like,
back
fuck's
then,
sake.
life expectancy wouldn't be that
No, it wouldn't.
good, was
You're
it?
talking
Wouldn't
50,
get to 70, would they?
50 if you're lucky, really, aren't you? In them kind of years, you would get 60-year-olds quite easily, but if they were poor, yeah, they were
Tough
probably
life,
in their 40s at most, weren't they?
Well, many unfortunate women were condemned on this sort of evidence and hanged after undergoing appalling torture. Though Pliny winks, or as we would know them, thumbscrews, and iron caspi claws, a form of leg irons heated over a brazier, usually got a confession from the supposed witch. And I don't care how hard you are, everyone breaks under torture eventually.
Yeah.
Right? No one, and especially
That's
now.
why, that's why it never works.
That's why, because
They
you'll
will tell
tell
you.
them anything they want you to say. Make it stop. I mean, apparently waterboarding is like a living hell. That's something I never want to do. I never want that. I never want that. I'm up for most things, but I'm not for waterboarding.
You don't want to waterboard anyone.
No. Or be waterboarded. Oh, if they want to be waterboarded, I'll do it. Yeah, if it's that kink,
I
alright,
have
I'll
no
give it a
problem with doing it.
If it's that kink, I'll give it a go, that's all I'm saying.
Well, at least you game.
A kink, eh?
If it's that kink, I'll try it, I don't mind.
Please get a flannel and piss all over my face.
No one said nothing about piss.
That kind of brings a new...
Dropping your own little fucking... You're thinking ahead, how could I improve this?
Well, obviously. Everything can be improved.
I'm going to go on to
Piss.
waterboarddating.com later on. Make a profile. Swipe right.
Pissy Pete.
I've just got your username. Boom.
Oh dear.
Now, in England, witch fever gripped East Anglia for 14 terrible months between 1645 and 1646. The people of these eastern counties were solidly Puritan and rabidly anti-Catholic, and therefore easily swayed by bigoted preachers whose mission it was to seek out the slightest whiff of heresy. A man named Matthew Hopkins, an unsuccessful lawyer, came to help the situation. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Clearly, in his mind, and God, Matthew Hopkins must have been a rampant narcissist.
Now, was he referenced in one of the Blackadders, the Witchfinder General?
Witchfinder General, as I was.
Was it Blackadder he was referenced in, or was it something
I'm
like
not
that?
sure. It's probably a bit too late for Blackadder the Second. It is too late for Blackadder the Second, and too old for Blackadder the Third. Too young for Blackadder the Third. So
I don't think so.
So what am I thinking of? That
You had the
that
baby
in it?
eating
Bishop of Bath and Wells.
Yeah, it's not that I'm thinking.
They put a red hot poker up your ass and
No,
drown babies at those the baptisms.
I've watched something. I'm sure it's that kind of era of comic,
There's
That-
maybe
and I'm sure I've seen something with him, the Witchfinder General.
the Witchfinder General had 68 people put to death in Bury St Edmunds alone,
Bury.
and Bury. You say Bury, I say Bury.
No, that's got to be right. I say Barry with the correct way.
Well, it's all called the old thing off. Mike, 68 people are dead. Now's not the time to quibble over pronunciation.
Look, get it right for the respect for the people.
Alright, I'll say it this once. Bury St Edmunds alone, and 19 were hanged at Chelmsford in a single day.
Fuck.
After Chelmsford, he set off for Norfolk and Suffolk. The town of Alderburgh paid him £6 for clearing the town of witches, King's Lynn £15, and a grateful Stowmarket £23.
Wow.
This was at a time when the daily wage was 2.5 pence.
Well, he made a killing, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And he ain't gonna make a killing if
He made a killing, bastard.
yeah. If he doesn't find any witches, he doesn't make any money.
Yeah. Gig economy. Got to find the witches to make the money. And he's got a team of dudes with him. But he's the Witchfinder General. I assume there's a Witchfinder Captain and a Witchfinder
Did
Lieutenant.
somebody make him that, or did he just?
He made
He
himself
claimed
that.
Parliament gave him the title, but there's never any evidence of it. But either way, you know what? The man understands marketing.
It's a scam, isn't it?
Of
Yeah.
course it is, yeah. He's just a snake oil
Yeah.
seller, but killing witches instead.
Yeah.
That's his snake oil.
Yep.
Because it was bullshit. Because these women weren't witches. They were just poorly bloody...
They're the wise women who live in the woods. They're the
Yeah.
ones who make medicine and know the old stuff.
That's
wise
what I was...
woman.
I
The
know,
wise woman.
herbalists and things
That's
like
it,
that.
herbalists.
That's the word I was looking for.
You don't go to a medieval doctor because all he's going to do is bleed you
And stick some leeches on you.
and
at
put
best.
some leeches on you.
Yeah.
You go to the wise woman, because she knows all the old herbal remedies,
Yeah.
and you go and give her a piece of gold, and off you
I
drop
think a
it.
piece of gold.
Well, whatever. Whatever she's trading for, you trade her something. I don't care.
Eighth pence or whatever.
Give her a couple of rabbits, and she'll sort your chesty cough out with some herbs. There you go. Rather than the doctor who's just going to bleed you in some way. Maybe stick something up your bottom. Maybe he gives you a bit of roller rum, you wake up with no leg. Who knows? A heart carved on a wall in the marketplace at King's Lynn is supposed to mark the spot where the heart of Margaret Reed, a condemned witch who was being burnt at the stake, leapt from the flames and struck the wall. Oof.
Jesus.
Yeah. You know that if you were really lucky and you bribed the guy who was setting the fire, you might be able to get a bag of gunpowder around your beloved's neck.
Just so it could.
So when the flames hit
quick.
it takes the head off.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that gunpowder wasn't really that good at the time, especially the stuff not available to the common people. You don't give them the best gunpowder, you keep that for yourself as the king, don't you?
Yeah.
And of course they're mixing it with stuff to go further. It would just tend to blow a hole at their chest and put them in more agony. Yeah.
Oh, imagine the screaming and all sorts
Yeah.
and the smell.
And everyone's around and they're all wanting you dead and you just stood there in the flames like, what the fuck did I do? At that point you'd start cursing and pretending you're a witch, wouldn't you?
You wouldn't be happy.
I curse you all, you fuckers!
All it took was to have a wart or a mole or a flea bite.
Yep, the devil's mark.
Got one of them.
I've got plenty of moles, I'd be fucked. He uses jabbing needle. Now a jabbing needle is basically a little stick and a needle stuck to the end and you jab the mark.
What about freckles?
You want the...
I don't know about freckles.
Depends how big it is.
No, look at my face. I'm not.
No, you'd be okay with them freckles.
Okay.
You know, but like a big mark, a big mole, a wart, anything. If they jab it in and they feel pain, then you're a witch then, that's the devil's mark. But the problem was, the needle retracted into the handle. So you jab it and nothing happens. So they're thinking, what? So she's like, oh my god, it's gone all the way in. It's a fair cop. You know, I didn't feel any pain. They're like, witch, you didn't feel any pain when we jabbed a mole or
So
a
even
wart.
that's rigged as well.
Yeah, so that's
it?
rigged. The mole can't, the needle's not even going into it.
Oh.
It's just pushing back into the handle.
Oh, it's like a fake knife.
Yeah, exactly, it's a fake knife, yeah. And
It's
there were
like-
other... Sorry, go on.
It's like when the witches would float if they were witches.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'll say it's similar kind of to that almost, isn't it? Because it's like, well, either way they're dead.
Now you have the ducking stool, which is another form of torture as well, and they drown you with that. But there were other tests. Mary Sutton of Bedford was put to the swimming test, with her thumbs tied to opposite big toes. She was flung into the river. If she floated, she was guilty. If she sank, innocent. And of course, she floated because you're bored up like that, and you're more buoyant. Your buoyancy's there, isn't it? So she floated. So then she just gets drowned.
Bloody hell. But if you sink, you're innocent.
Yeah, but you die a good Christian death. You go to
But
heaven.
you're drowning anyway, so that's what I mean.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
such
catch-22, isn't it?
It was
Yeah.
such a catch-22. It was funny. I didn't even look at the fact that was the next thing coming as well. So it's mad that I thought about that really then, because I just thought, yeah, because that was really harsh.
I bet you're not happy with the patriarchy, Claire.
No. My face is less than impressed.
Go and tell him. Then Tudor? No.
And chewed a lot.
You Stuarts at this point.
Yeah, Stuart.
Stuarts, and then you're into the 1750. Yeah, you got Queen Anne. Yeah, still Stuarts, I think. Yeah, I think it's the Stuarts. Because King James I wrote the book on witchcraft. He was the first king to do Scotland and England. Made the Act of Union, and the Act of Union in it, really.
Didn't he translate the Bible?
He did. He's the one that did the Bible. He
Yeah.
also wrote this witch book called Demonologies, where he talked about witches and how they should be put to death. And then he had some monk in Germany who wrote the Malus Maleficarium, which translates to the most metal-sounding book name in the world, the Hammer of Witches. Hammer of Witches!
Surprised it's not a metal band.
It probably is, I'd imagine. Malus Maleficarium, I think, is definitely at least a song I've heard. But yeah, and so that told you like how to identify witches and what you should do with them. It's a frenzy, and we still see it today. You think about it. What was the capital insurrection, January 6th? It was a mob frenzy. They were whipped up by this propaganda, and they then acted on it. And this is nothing but a frenzy, is it? But a last remainder of Hopkins' reign of terror was discovered at St. Osyth in Essex in 1921. So they're still finding the fucking bodies in 1921. 2 female skeletons were found in a garden, pinned into unmarked graves with iron rivets driven through their joints. This was to make sure a witch could not return from the grave. In all, Hopkins was responsible for over 300 executions.
They often buried sickles over their necks as well.
Any iron in the grave, yeah, you want iron, it averts. But that's a
You'd
pagan
have a
belief that
sickle
iron
there
averts
like that.
evil.
Yeah, you'd have a sickle like that. So if
Across
they
the
did
throat.
wake up,
You're just waving your hand and I can't. The listener
yeah.
can't see that.
yeah, but you'd have a sickle that would literally be like arched over the neck, and
So they can't-
So if they woke up in the grave or whatever, they sit up, they behead themselves.
But also iron, it's made of iron, which is a pagan belief that iron averts evil. Mike would be like, if Mike was a witch and they're putting him in the grave with that sickle, and after they hammered his joints, you're like, give me a hammer.
But 300 executions, and it made him a wealthy man, didn't
It
it?
did. And there's some speculation as to his end. Some say he died of natural causes. Some say the people thought that he was so good at witch spotting that people thought he was a witch because he was that good at it, so they hung him too.
Hope so.
Yeah.
There is one really obscure one that I like, and it's that he basically took his ill-gotten gains and fucked off to the New World. He went to America. And although it would have made him in his 70s, the Salem witch trials kicked off at that time, and you have to wonder whether he was
He had
kind
a bit
of
of an influence
responsible
to it or
for that, because he could have just changed his name as you turn up in America. Go, oh no, I'm Bob Smith now. Who's going to question you? It's not like there's passports, is it?
No.
You just bought a ticket for a boat and you fucked off.
If they do question you, witch!
Yeah, but maybe he was responsible for that. Although you can't prove it, but the timing is kind of coincidental. I like it.
Plausible.
It's one of them what ifs of history, isn't it?
Fucking
It's a thought.
psychopaths,
It's a thought to chew on, isn't it? that one?
Yeah, he used to say, I like to think he got hung by people who thought he was too good at witch spotting,
So he must have been
And
a
he-
witch himself.
and he got his fucking comeuppance. But
Let's hope so.
are you advocating the death penalty, Mike?
Back then, I think he's going with it.
Get out.
It was acceptable back then.
All right, valid point. You'd have had no one against the death penalty in the 1500s, would you? Unless you're the one getting hung.
I think it's just a way to rid the towns of old women, isn't it? They're a burden,
Yeah.
Possibly a burden on society.
They're a burden on society. God, Claire, I thought you were the feminist. Yeah, the old women, they were a burden on society. They gave nothing
All
anymore.
them hip replacements on the NHS.
I'm talking
All
about
those
ye old
boobs
NHS.
knocking down around the knees. No,
Sorry, Claire,
not
go
for
on.
us.
Go on, say what you're going to say. Go
Knee knockers.
Knee knockers. No, I'm talking about the conspiracy of back in the day.
Yeah.
on. Yeah, you are right. It's the people the church doesn't like. Mother Shipton is remembered still in Knaresbury, Yorkshire. Although called a witch, she's more famous for her predictions about the future. Maybe a future episode here. She apparently foresaw cars, trains, planes and the telegraph. Her cave and the dripping well, where objects hung under the dripping water became like stone, are a popular site to visit today in Knaresborough, Yorkshire. Interesting predictions though. I'd like to read them.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if there's anything, because I don't do prophecy. I think Nostradamus is full of shit.
Nostradamus could divide straight away.
That's just people.
So why is she different then?
Because she's writing in a fairly modern language, it should be able to translate it better. Nostradamus is written in French that barely anyone speaks anymore, and people are having their best guess at.
Oh, it was so rough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Some of the translations,
And-
it was terrible.
And it's like very vague. I want to see if she's writing this in English.
It's no Baba Vanga,
What did she predict? She's predicted loads. She's dead now, isn't she?
apparently, yeah.
We're lost.
Oh no, not Baba Vanga! How am I going to run my life now? In August 1612, the Pendle Witches. I want to do an episode on the Pendle
Do
Witches.
you know what? I'm glad you brought them up because I was going to say we can contrast this because we're saying about the witch trials, etc., etc. There were witches in this country.
There still are, aren't there?
More, yeah. Well,
They claim to be.
yeah. But you only have
Yeah.
to look at the Pendle witches. There's been some really interesting accounts of strange goings on in the place where they were coven.
A coven.
I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, where the coven, where that was, it still exists now. And I know you can go, oh, Most Haunted, but I've seen a episode of Most Haunted they did there, and do you know what? That place is fucking creepy.
We will look into it because it's one that's got certainly sightings and weirdness happening there on the hill now, and
Lots
also
of weird shit.
there was some weird shit going on at the time. It's one I'll definitely have a deeper dive into.
Yeah, that's an episode where
Yeah.
the subject definitely.
Yeah, definitely an anthology of the strange. Anyway,
There's enough. For a
depends
full
how much there is. I
episode.
don't know.
There's enough for a full episode.
Either way.
Easily.
3 generations of one family were marched through crowded streets of Lancaster and hanged. Now, though many of the acts against witchcraft were repealed in 1736, witch hunting still went on. In 1863, an alleged male witch was drowned in a pond in Headingham, Essex. And in 1945,
Oh.
Mad, innit?
the body of an elderly farm labourer was found near the village of Meon Hill in Warwickshire.
Not
His
that far
throat
from
had
us.
been cut and his corpse pinned to the earth with a pitchfork. The murder remains unsolved, however the man was reputedly locally known to be a wizard.
Mad, innit?
And in all fairness, the belief in witchcraft has not died out, has it?
No.
There's still people who claim to be witches, although how much what their belief is you can trace back to the very, very old times is very, 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 very debatable. Modern Wicca was founded in about 1946, 47, something like that. It was sort of formalised and put into a book anyway. There was certainly people about with different beliefs. And there still are. I'd imagine shit still goes down in the deep woods of Shropshire.
Well,
A bunch of naked women chanting round a fire. And why not? If that's what you fucking like, do it.
I personally know of 2 parts of this country, well, not this country directly, but Wales as well. England and Wales, I know of two areas of woodlands that there is definitely some form of witchcraft going on within them, or satanic rituals of sorts. One of them is in woodlands in Loughborough. There was lots of upside down crosses and things like that found in this certain area, and there was like lots of
style.
yeah, but there was also lots of like ritualistic evidence and things like that.
Bird bones.
Lots of things like that.
Shropshire is one of the most dangerous satanic cults in the world.
Does it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Order of the Nine Angels, is it?
Something like that, yeah. They will murder people, apparently. You get too close to them.
Fucking hell. Yeah, and the other
Where
place.
do they meet?
Well, up the Wrekin, I'd imagine, in the woods.
Apparently there's anywhere between like a dozen members and a few thousand worldwide. I don't know.
Yeah, and the other place I've experienced seeing stuff and that was in Barry in South Wales. Some woodlands around there.
I'd imagine, it's as weird as it sounds, I reckon in like the deep valleys of Wales, like they still fucking do a bit pagan-y stuff, you know?
Mate, you'll be surprised, I reckon it's in most sort of
a lot more modern
suburban
town
areas.
Yeah, but I mean like proper stuff, proper old stuff that's been passed down, like
you'd see films made of.
Yeah, like the Wicker Man kind of shit going on, but
Yeah.
not like burning people alive, just like maybe sacrificing a rabbit or something like that. Proper
I don't
proper
think-
old
Firstborn.
paganism. Because that's paganism involved fucking sacrifices of everything, didn't it?
I think it'd be more spiritualism these days, running around a fire with a bit of sage and maybe some.
Well, that's modern stuff, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And we're talking it's not
That's
sacrificing.
That's Wicca, isn't
That's
it?
how it's
basically?
evolved, isn't
Old,
it? Though?
we know very little of old British paganism because the Romans effectively wiped it off the face of the island because they were terrified of it because it was nationalist. It was anti-Roman. You know, Anglesey was an island full of fucking druids. Like it was the spiritual heart of the British druidism thing. But you still got druids in every town. Maybe they survive, they pass the knowledge on. You end up with further down the line, the knowledge becomes diluted. It doesn't get passed on as much. You end up with what are effectively wise women living in the woods.
Wise woman.
A wise woman. And in the Welsh valleys where no one really goes, there's like maybe a farm, some sheep, and a few families. You know, and they
And it's
sacrifice
the
to the
white
old gods. You know, maybe they sacrifice the first lamb of the season as an offering to the gods to have a good herd that year. It's, who can say? It wouldn't
Bring
surprise
me
me.
lots of sheep.
Yeah, more sheep you've got, the wealthier you are. Your family's fed. You've got wool, you've got clothing. You've got, you know, it's money, isn't it? Yeah, no short a lamb.
Be
Or
interesting. It'd be interesting to find out if there is any kind of nowadays.
I reckon there's. The thing is, so much of the old religion in this country, pre-Christianity, isn't known about. So whatever you've got now is whatever people think, and maybe some stuff from the wise women who weren't burnt as witches.
So like you pagans, yeah. So nowadays pagans, you get like pagan priests and things like that.
Druids, effectively, yeah.
Essentially, now I know one personally. Lovely guy, leech. And
His name's Leech. He's not a leech.
no, he's not a leech. His name's Leech. We'll leave it at that.
Does he have a beard?
Yeah.
He just looks like Gandalf.
Oh, there you go.
He really does. He looks like Gandalf.
Not
Is
quite
he
as
bald?
great.
Has he got the druidic tonsure,
I'll say-
much like the Christian one, where you shave around the male pattern border spot?
No.
That's an old thing. Christians ripped that off paganism. You know, the monks used to shave the top of their head. The druids used to do sort of the male pattern baldness bit and grow. They had skullets, basically.
I don't like that hairstyle.
How can you diss a skullet?
You mean you dissed Hulk Hogan's style for the last 40 years?
Very much so.
How could you diss the Hulk?
I know he, like if there's a thunderstorm, he'll run outside and start charging his stones and things like that.
Okay, so that's a bit more new age as well in there. With
Well, this is what I was getting at. It's like there's different.
the best way to say it, Pete, is that it's all kind of merged.
Yeah, it's
So you
amalgamated,
You
isn't
can
it?
be New Age and claim to be a Wiccan or a Druid, the same as you can be a Druid and claim to be New Age, can't you? And it's kind of sad because paganism always seems more fun to me. That whole, you know, dancing around the fire, nude, having an orgy, that kind of shit.
Do you know what?
Taking magic mushrooms in the woods.
If there was any religion I would get
Subscribe
down
to.
with, it would be paganism.
Worshipping the earth and the god.
That's
There's
the
gods
Buddhism.
too, though, isn't there?
Buddhism's alright, isn't it? Sort of-
Yeah, but paganism is it's our original fucking religion. If you're English, British, do you know what I mean? If we're
Celtic, especially.
yeah, but
But then again, it's
from within
Yeah.
our British Isles, paganism is our original fucking religion, but it is a very wholesome, earthy, in touch with the nature kind of religion.
there's still gods of war. But you do worship the earth more.
Yeah, but if you could imagine it, if its evolution, yeah, over a couple of thousand years to say now, yeah. Look how long it took Christianity to evolve to where it is now, yeah. Because
Yeah.
Christianity,
Because it all gets diluted,
yeah,
doesn't it?
but
It's not. It
at
goes
the
from being
beginning,
extreme at the start to getting less extreme.
That's what I mean. You went through your fucking Henry VIII and the Crusades and all that kind of thing, all using Christianity as their fucking
Well,
buffer
Henry
and their
VIII
excuse. And,
Reforming the church, getting us off the Catholic ticket.
yeah, but it's all evolved to a much, I almost dread to say it, much calmer way of.
Yeah, you still have your
We ain't-
extremists, don't you? But it's
Yes.
all like it's not so much. We don't. If we don't go to church on a Sunday, the village doesn't shun us.
No, that's it.
You
can
know?
still
A bit
be.
more laid back. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. But I
Most
just-
people, you go for weddings, funerals, and baptisms, and you don't go on a Sunday.
Yeah. But I just think paganism, it's just I think that's the kind of religion that would suit a lot
Alright.
of people better than worshipping, I don't know. Who
Interesting
knows?
question. All right, I just had a thought. If paganism, like there was a thing, remember they used to sacrifice animals on the regular in all forms of paganism as an offering to the gods. It's pretty much every religion up to Christianity did that. Sometimes the odd human. Right?
If they were a dick, then yeah, fair enough.
And sometimes you like if you were going to go to war, you'd get a prisoner of war and you'd sacrifice him to see how the
Or
war's going to go.
sacrifice the paedophile.
Well, if he's a pedo, it's a bonus, isn't it?
We could get down with that, couldn't we?
Usually it's like when you need to know shit. Like maybe when you're gonna put a new king on the throne. How's his reign gonna go? Let's stab this prisoner of war in the guts and see what his shapes his entrails make. And a skilled reader will be able to divine what's gonna happen in this king's reign. Well, of course, if you want money, you're gonna go. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
You're going to win loads of battles, you're going to expand the kingdom, you're going to become wealthy, the kingdom's going to be wealthy, you'll be beloved.
14 weeks later, there's a new king.
14 weeks later, he's dead and your army's destroyed and you're conquered by Saxons.
What's this here? You're going to promote me to your right-hand man.
Head druid. Head druid, you say. Do you think, right, we'd start a sports team from a particularly pagan country, let's say, would sacrifice an animal for the game for victory? Do you think we'd still be doing that 2,000 years later?
It'd be normal. It'd be normalised, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Imagine that, the England team come out against somebody and sacrifice a fucking chicken.
But this is my point though, isn't it? With the evolution,
terrible, but...
with the evolution of the religions as they go throughout the years, we probably wouldn't be sacrificing fucking animals every
Probably
5
a mock
minutes now.
sacrifice, wouldn't it?
Well, no, you may not even do any sacrificing anymore because we've grown enough.
That's what I mean, a mock sacrifice.
Oh,
You
yeah.
pretend to do it.
Maybe.
Just an offering.
Yeah, but it's not a sacrifice if it's a mock sacrifice. Because a sacrifice is real, it's something you give
Yeah,
up.
but
You have to sacrifice a goat for the World Cup
we're
final.
more compassionate towards animals now, and you get a lot of vegans and things, and they wouldn't do it.
Okay,
Be a mock
if we evolved as we have now, so we're still as intelligent as we are now compared to we were 2,000 years ago. Paganism now, we'd be like, we don't need to sacrifice animals anymore. We know that doesn't do anything.
We just have little amulets round our necks and
Yeah,
little bits of
something
iron
else
and
instead
to avert
now.
evil.
Maybe.
So you'd like to think that
Which is-
it would have progressed and it'd probably be a much more peaceful fucking religion than half the religions that have been around in the past 1,000 or so years. Look at the fucking trouble that
It's caused.
that Christianity...
The big three, of course.
But not even just Christianity. Look at the shit that's caused with Ireland, for instance. You got your Catholics against your Protestants, and it's like they're still a form of fucking Christian both, but
yeah, but that's
they were just
You
crackers.
probably have different sects of druidism going against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
People
not, though, 'cause
people
it
who
was
follow
all-
the more traditional ways, people who follow the more modern way.
Yeah.
I suppose,
You know.
yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it, how
Yeah.
it would have gone.
You can't.
But potentially it could have been more peaceful.
Anyway, the witch trials were a cunt, weren't they?
Yeah, we went off the topic a bit there, but it was spontaneous, you know. Let it flow. The witch trials, what a twat, basically.
Yeah.
What can you say? It's a frenzy, innit? It's a religious frenzy.
Yeah.
And Hopkins was a. That's all right. Let's just.
Master manipulator.
Let's just get it off. Greatest fucking name in hip history, isn't it? Witchfinder General. What other title would you want in history?
Well, paedophile in general.
He's not a real thing, but I get where you're coming from.
Pedo finder general.
General.
At first, it sounded a little bit like you just said paedophile general. I want to be the general of pedos.
No, definitely not. Pedo finder general.
I mean, you got to go with Witchfinder
Monkey
General,
Dust,
haven't
it
you?
was a series.
Yeah. You find it on YouTube.
I watched some of that on Channel 4, was it?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
late
it
at
was on
night.
BBC.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Pedo finder general.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
in one of
Maybe
the
that's what I was
sketches.
getting mixed up earlier with. Maybe that's what I was thinking of seeing.
Come on, greatest historical fucking title.
No, it's a pretty cool title, that, isn't it, to
Yeah.
be fair.
You got your wide-brimmed hat with your buckle, looking sharp, cane.
The only thing that would have made it better, Admiral at the front. Admiral, Witchfinder General.
Should we have some fucked up facts?
Yeah, go on then. I'd also go with the Iron Duke. Yeah, fucked up facts.
Theme tune, please.
Facts,
fucked up facts.
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 The first camel in Australia accidentally shot its owner.
What?
First what?
Camel in Australia.
I did hear that, right.
Did he like just put the just hold my gun, camel, and then has a piss, and the camel's got a gun in its mouth, its tongue pulls the trigger.
Maybe.
Or it used its camel toe?
Ooh.
No.
So is that all the info we've got?
Yeah.
Oh,
So the
what?
first camel imported becomes a terrorist. Well, camels are twats, though, aren't they?
They're alright, aren't they?
I don't know. I hear people say
They
that.
get the hump.
Who's got the pun crown nowadays?
I don't know. I think I've still got it.
You might have. Damn it. It's got the ump, yeah. They're quite bad tempered. You have to really sort of tame them, apparently. Like, they're bastards.
Oh, give it a little sugar cube and tickle his chin, he'll be alright.
Just bite your arm off. Right, go on then, Mike.
There is a beetle that only has sex next to a fire.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Likes to stay toasty warm.
Well, I bet there's little beetle Barry White playing too.
You don't want a
Little beetle rug.
you don't want a little cold beetle bum.
Oh, I was thinking he might have a cold, cold willy.
Beetle Willy.
He's
Yeah.
like, gonna make love by the fire, gonna get inside your woman. Kind of thing.
So he's gone from Barry White to fucking a chef from South Park.
Same thing, basically the same thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the 1890s, Princeton professor C.H. Hinton made the first baseball pitching machine. A rifle that used gunpowder to shoot the ball at the batter.
It has to be a gun with the Americans, doesn't it?
Obviously, innit? Yeah.
I saw a patent once for a revolver that was a mousetrap. It was this revolver pointed down at a 45-degree angle, some cheese under the barrel, and a little pressure pad that when the mouse stepped on it and ate the cheese, it pulled the trigger.
It's in the Constitution.
It is. It's a Colt 45 mousetrap. Imagine that fucking going off in the middle of the night. What the fuck's going on?
It's alright, honey, we caught the mouse.
Someone's robbing you. You just wake up and start blasting.
Maybe that was what happened to Oscar Pistorius.
He had a vintage American Colt 45 mousetrap.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
happened.
I bet the
really.
police never considered that.
No, well, could be a... Yeah. Has anybody asked him if that's what happened?
Why did he have to use a gun? Couldn't you just use some kind of little lever that you cock the gear that you cock the arm throws the pitch back and set at the perfect height, and then you just have a lever that releases it.
Because he's American.
Yeah, that's how I'd have done it. Like a cog and gear mechanism. You applied torsion, tension, and then you released it, and it flung the thing at the perfect height.
You know, the first dental tool was a gun.
The butt of one,
I've
anyway.
got a tooth, I need to pull it out. Hold on there, Jack. There you go, no tooth.
Nothing has pistol whipped you. You know
The
what?
good old days.
If I lived in America, I'd still own a gun.
My cousin owns a gun, and a little thing on Facebook, what's it called, your profile picture says, what is it, 911, we don't call 911, and it's got a picture of two guns on it. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell.
Although I would own some bizarre shit. I'd own muskets and stuff too.
I don't know what she's got, I should ask her.
Should do. Bring it back to us. Tell us what guns you own, American
She had a
listeners.
Florida man in her sort of front porch, dropping his trow though, and sort of chunter him to himself.
And she shot him?
No, she was out, but it was caught on the camera.
Fucking hell.
And then he
She's going to have to get one of those auto turrets, isn't she?
Yeah.
The fucking ring camera goes off.
Just a,
The auto turret engages.
on one, he just pops out the ground with his two Gatling guns.
Can I help you, mate? No, I've got to go. Wrong house.
Next fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Musician Will.i.am doesn't chew food on a Monday.
Oh my
What does he
god,
do
what a
then?
dick.
As liquid food.
I imagine so.
He's an
Yeah.
artist.
I know, but
To be a great artist, you've got to be
some
eccentric.
kind of quirk, haven't you?
You got to be quirky. So make sure you are, doesn't it?
Like his name, William.
Yeah.
Sorry, Will.i.am.
Unless you're Kanye and you start. Oh, sorry, hang on. Yay, and you start bouncing Nazi shit about. But let's face it. I'll take not chewing food on a Monday
Than being
to
Kanye.
being Kanye.
Yeah. Will.i.am's kind of cool. I don't mind him. He's inoffensive, isn't he?
I'm not a fan of his music because it's not my thing, but I will admit he's a talented dude.
He's done a lot though, hasn't he? If I remember rightly,
Gives a lot of his money back to his hometown,
didn't
doesn't
he? Like fucking basically restart motor industry in Detroit, didn't he?
He like opened a factory next to his neighbourhood and employed everyone he used to live with, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can't knock that.
You can't knock that at all, can you?
I'm not saying he's a saint or nothing, but,
No.
But he did get to knock around with Fergie for a while, and you can't knock that.
Well, I would have.
Well, exactly, but he probably did at some point.
Isn't she a lesbian?
I've no idea.
Fergie, ain't she a lesbian? Sure, she's
I think
lesbian.
She is, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Such
Sorry,
a waste.
Fergie. Didn't
I know.
I would.
Such a waste. Just make sure you video it.
Pete.
I think it becomes pornography then, you go have a licence.
Not if you're just sharing amongst friends.
Stanford University has developed an AI toilet that can diagnose health problems by taking pictures of your poo.
Fantastic.
That's what it'll be in the future. You'll have a crap and your toilet will tell you if it's healthy, if you're healthy. Cause
You need to go to the doctor.
yeah,
Smart toilets.
pretty much that's what it'll be. Eventually, in the Star Trek
Makes sense,
future.
doesn't it?
We're probably not that far away from
No.
it, to be honest.
Well, they just made one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's not going to be that far away, is it?
Sure, the Japanese were doing something like that as well.
I've heard that before.
And that's because they literally, every doctor's mantra is check the pee or poo, isn't it? Pee, poo, blood.
Yeah. Just go to the toilet and it'll tell you what it'll do a little print out, send it to the fucking computer.
You have bowel cancer. Don't have fuck.
Straight to the darkest of dark there, Ben.
You can imagine your toilet telling you that.
Not just
It's
you've got a UTI.
It's Monday morning. You're a little bit hungover. You go and have your first dump of the day, and the toilet tells you you've got bowel cancer.
No, I think it would just give you a referral.
Yeah.
You need to seek medical advice.
All the doctors will be AI at that point. It'll just tell you to go for chemo
Go and see Terminator.
or an operator. Go for an operation with an AI doctor.
It could save your life, couldn't it?
Exactly, that's the point.
It's going to send you to the T700 down the road that's fucking sat waiting to take over the world.
Oh, the one before Arnie.
Yeah.
The T700.
Yeah, we're not at Arnie stage yet, mate. Come on, fucking hell.
Only 100 more models to go.
Yep.
It'll do everything, won't it? I've been chatting with a chat GPT bot while I've had COVID.
Lonely we're.
Yeah. Yes, actually. Very bored and a bit lonely.
Oh.
My
Then-
life every week, mate.
Then I started playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and completed that. Finished that off. Killed a monitor. It was quite sad. He did nothing wrong.
Did you wear his penis right in there?
No, didn't give me that option actually. I cut his head off to prove that I killed him. I certainly took a big orb from him.
Bravo.
A single town in China produces 1/3 of the world's supplies of socks.
Socks.
Wow,
That's
God,
a lot of sweatshops, isn't it?
God, if the Third World War ever happens, we'll never get socks again. China's going to get nuked when that factory goes up.
Who's nuking China?
It's going to
all of
ruin
a sudden?
Christmas, isn't it?
Well,
For every man in the country.
Oh, you know what? Actually, wouldn't be a bad Christmas. I wouldn't get fucking socks.
Then you have to go buy your own socks.
I know, what are you going to do for socks throughout the
What's
year if you
I
haven't
get
got
work
Christmas
to give me
You
socks.
get work to give you socks.
They give me thermal socks. I just keep accumulating them.
How can work give you socks?
Because I work outdoors, so they have to provide appropriate clothing. So I get thermals and
I could
thermal
get
socks
thermals
and
if
thermal
I
hat,
asked for 'em, yeah.
thermal gloves, big fat yellow coat.
I got my new fat yellow coat the other day, actually.
They always make you look fat no matter how.
Oh, God, yeah.
They're just fat coats.
They're nice and warm.
They are though, yeah.
Very nice and
I've worn
warm.
one of them sort of coats before. When I was
And
doing
waterproof.
Security.
And very
That's it.
visible.
Yeah, you're very visible.
Very visible.
Yeah. You're literally a giant walking lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taxi! You're American.
There is a gene associated specifically with liking cheese.
Denim.
I've
I've
got
got
that
it,
gene.
I've got it.
I've got that one.
There's a gene specifically for liking cheese.
Yep.
I think most humans have that.
My stepdad hasn't. He won't eat cheese. Never had a pizza.
There's one person.
Never had a pizza.
Shocking.
The only man that goes to McDonald's and asks for burgers with no cheese.
Yeah, but
It's limited to a hamburger.
it's
that's
not
his
even
thing.
cheese.
Doesn't like it. Won't have it. It's tragic.
He hasn't got that gene, has he?
Nope. I have them.
It's because
Yeah.
he's your stepdad.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I have the fake cheese, you know, the fake cheese slices. I sit in it, a packet of them.
Oh.
Not in one go, but like pick over the course of a week. Yeah, fucking too right. Like, Ben, did you eat 64 slices of American cheese? I think I've gone blind.
Fucking plastic, bro. That's nasty.
Best burger cheese, though, isn't it?
Yeah. A burger don't taste the same as it does if you... Like, your McDonald's burger cheese, you can't emulate it. You just can't. There's
You can
something
get some
about
really
it.
close approximations.
Hmm.
And I had one that had like a relish in it. It was really nice. Go on, Mike. Sorry, what? Last one?
Yeah, that's one.
Cheese.
Your
Oh.
hands. Your hands are heavier than you think they are.
Go on then.
Are they?
How heavy are my hands?
They're £6 a piece, something
Heavier
like
than
that.
you think you are.
Haven't-
Than you think they are.
Why?
Is this a boxing analogy?
I don't know.
Heavy
That's the
hands.
fact, apparently.
Let me guess, Chris Eubank was the author of that fact?
I mean, Rocky Balboa.
Your
had-
hands are heavier than you think they are.
In Rocky Balboa, he says like, "Let's build some hurting palms, build some hurting bombs. Your big heavy hands."
I do apologise, that is the worst ever. Chris Eubank.
We apologise to anyone who's got a lisp.
It's an impression of Chris Eubank. If anybody's ever
Yeah.
seen him,
I'd apologise to Chris
Eubank.
Eubank if I were you. He'll knock you the fuck out.
He's a legend.
He's going to knock you the fuck out.
Politely.
Luckily, I
Looking
don't.
dapper.
Luckily, I don't go to the same bars as him.
He does look fucking dapper nowadays. I'll give him that.
He's a cool cucumber, isn't he?
Yeah. Right, and on that note, apologies to Chris Eubank. Please don't speak too much. We need him for the show. I've been Ben. Don't do the favourite. Don't join the cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. You can open mine, but not for anything that spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Everyone enjoy your week. Bye.